Alright, good morning everybody. This is Nick with NK Landscaping again. I'm here in our Kubota KX033 excavator, and I want to show you guys the Steelwrist Tiltrotator that we bought. So this is a brand new Steelwrist X04 Tiltrotator that we just had optioned onto this machine. And for those of you wondering what a Tiltrotator is and what it's able to do, this is going to be a video to show you that. So first off, I want to start by saying, so you're looking at the Tiltrotator right there on the boom of the machine. Basically everything from those green hydraulic lines down is the Tiltrotator head. So if you look here in the cab, I have a controller. You can see right here, that's a screen, so that controls all of my options for my Tiltrotator, such as flow settings. There's operator profiles on there. Say if a different person wanted to change up the control pattern, they can do that right from that. On top of that, we have these Steelwrist control joysticks. So these have replaced the factory Kubota controls, and as you can see, there's a bunch of buttons on here. Some of these buttons are used on top, but the majority are not for our purposes. You have a left, right, thumb roller rocker switch, and then on the back of these sticks, your pointer finger can control another roller rocker switch, and then there's a couple buttons back there as well. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to mainly be working with this roller rocker, and the one on the back of the right stick. So, what is a Tiltrotator? So, start with the beginning, tilt. If I roll this right side rocker switch, I can tilt this coupler back and forth from left to right about 45 degrees. And the left side, if I straighten that back out, this is going to control my rotate. This is a rotate clockwise and counterclockwise. So a normal excavator will not have any of that functionality. You will only have curl and dump. So to make any changes to the angle of, say, a dig or whatever you're working on, you're either going to have to use this pedal down here, which you may be able to see in the video, but that's going to control our boom swing. So on this machine, I have about 50 degrees of boom swing to the left. It's a little bit to the right. But so that'll allow you, if the excavator is parked in one spot, I can then swing the boom left or right, say to dig up against the foundation, or if I was in a tight area, I can swing that boom into place so I can make the excavator a little more versatile. Aside from that, if you need to make an adjustment to the angle of your bucket, you need to reposition the machine. So on really tight work areas, that's very hard. You don't want to be moving the machine, and any movement of the machine does, of course, put wear on the rest of the machine. So the Steelwrist here allows us to position the bucket at any angle, forward, backward, left, right, as well as tilt. So you can do some really fine grading work and get into some really tight areas. Now another option that we added onto this machine, I'll get this spun around for you here. So you'll see on the end of the Tiltrotator there's these little fingers, and if I use this right side roller rocker switch in the rear, I can open or close these small little grabber jaws. It's actually called a gripper, so this was an optional add-on that we did add. This is great for if you have to pick up little things on the ground. You can reach out, pick them up, put them down. So we use this a lot for actually getting our plate compactor in and out of the truck, because it is very heavy, and normally we would have to do that with the chain. Alright, so now that we got the kind of main functions of the Tiltrotator down, like I said, we have tilt left right, full 360 rotation, and the little gripper in the back. We'll go on to attachments. So, this is just, this is permanent on the machine, at least the way we have it optioned. And then we have a few attachments here. We're still waiting on a couple more. They just need to be shipped, supply chain issues and everything. But this is what we have. So we have an 18-inch trenching bucket, or that's actually a 12-inch trenching bucket. We're waiting on an 18. We have a 24-inch digging bucket, and then we have this, it's called a multi-grapple, but it basically opens up and you can grab logs, rocks. That's going to replace the thumb that we used to have on this machine. So this machine from the factory did come with a thumb that allows you to clamp down on the bucket to pick up things like rocks and, any debris that you're going to come across when you're doing a digging job. So over here on my right side, you can't see it, but there's a rocker switch, so I'm going to flip that. Excuse the loud beeping. I'm going to hit, there's a green button on the back of this right side joystick, and that's going to open up the quick coupler here. You can hear the quite annoying beep. But now we're going to reach out, and I can grab onto this bucket. So now we have this bucket grabbed. I'm going to flip the switch, the rocker switch, press the green button again, and now we have this bucket attached. I didn't have to get out of the cab, I didn't have to deal with any pins, so I can do that from any attachment, and now I have full tilt, rotate, and I still have the ability to use my little grabber here. So this is really useful, say, you know, working and I need to pick this bucket up because I got to go across the job site, right? So now I can pick this bucket up, move it out of the way, say I want to put it over here, put that down, and now I can continue to, you know, either dig or whatever in this area. But as you can see, I can rotate this any which way, you know, sideways. I can dig sideways if I need, which does come in handy on small jobs when you're really tight. I can dig backwards, so this is really useful for, like, say I need to clean up against my blade here. I can just dig and scoop away any dirt and junk that gets near the blade. So that's really, really useful here. So that's it as far as buckets. You know, you can see how that can be nice. You know, you're cutting a trench or something, you can basically conform this bucket to the ground any which way, and you know, the possibilities are kind of endless on that. So then I will go here real quick, I'll make the swap to the grapple and I'll show you the capabilities of that. So you can see I have the grapple hooked up now. There are a few extra steps for this since this is you know, hydraulically controlled. We are going to need to hook up some hydraulic lines. So the first step with that, I'm going to turn on the ignition of the machine. We're going to power on our auxiliary hydraulics, which basically gives function to those green hydraulic lines down to the tilt rotator. We're going to roll this rear rocker switch, which would normally control the little grabber there. That's going to bleed off any excess hydraulic pressure to make it easier for us to hook up the lines. And then we're going to get out and do some things to switch over to the grapple function. Alright, so now we're out of the machine and my trusty wrench. So on the rear of this grapple or grabber, there's this little hydraulic control valve right here. So we're actually going to put our wrench on there, give that a spin. So that's going to allow the pressure that would normally go to the grabber to come around to this side. Alright, so when we flip that switch, we now allow hydraulic oil to flow to these two quick connect fittings. We're going to quickly attach the hydraulic lines for the grapple. Two quick hydraulic lines. We're going to snap these dust covers on just so that nothing gets in there. And we're going to grab our wrench so we don't forget that and get that pinched up in there. And then we'll hop back in the machine and show you how that works. Alright, back in the machine now. I'm going to turn on my auxiliary hydraulics. This is something that you have to do with the Kubota machines. You can't just automatically turn them on. You got to do it every time. But now, we're going to lift up here. We still have our rotate and our tilt functionality. But now, instead of having the little grabber in the back, our right side rear rocker switch, roller rocker switch, is going to control the grapple open and close. So yes, I don't have control of the little grabber now, but of course, as you can see, I have a much bigger grabber here that I can now spin around any which way. I can tilt it, and I can pick up basically anything. So this is really good for logs and rocks and things like that. So I can pick things up, I can spin them around. Say I want to put something down backwards, I can do that now. Really, really useful attachment. So, as you can see, it's a pretty useful, nifty little thing that does add a lot of, you know, tight reach capability and just a ton of things to these machines. So that's why we made the investment on this, and I really do hope to get some videos of this in action soon. We are going to be going out on some jobs with it. I already have gone out on some jobs with it, and it has proved to be very valuable to us as a company. I know it's not for everybody, but for us, this perfectly fits the type of work that we do and the areas that we work in. So we are getting some more attachments soon here that are coming over from Sweden. Steelwrist is a Swedish brand. They've been very good to work with. It's just been a fantastic little purchase, and you know, we'll see some new attachments coming here in the future, and we'll love to get this on video and show you guys really, you know, on site what this is capable of and all the things that you can do with this attachment. So thank you guys for watching, and you know, stay tuned in. We're gonna do a lot more with this attachment here. All right, thank you very much. Have a great day.